The Queen of England. Good morning. If everyone would get their hymn books, we're going to turn to page 211 and stand as we sing, I Love Thee. First, second, fourth stanzas, number 211.
Good morning. Welcome home to Big Springs. Now, I want y'all just look at all of this back here. You men are really going to have a time to beat this. Now, I have a few announcements. Daddy and Mommy's night out is tonight. You can drop off the children at 4 o'clock, pick them up by 7. We just want the ones that are ages 5 years and younger, and this is sponsored by the ACT Teams. There will be an Easter play practice at 4:30 this afternoon. I just want to thank you for all who gave to the Undy Sundays. We were able to supply a total of 305 pairs of panties, underwear, socks, and sweatpants to Union and Kaiser Elementary Schools. I know that they will appreciate those, and we're just thankful for your generosity. Is anyone else having any announcements?
Sandra, I've got one since it's Baptist Women's Day. This note is from Gracie Wilson, and the Baptist Women gave her some money toward her trip to Nicaragua. Anyway, she says, Dear Baptist WMU, thank you for your additional donation toward my trip. The kindness of your church to me has been overwhelming, and I'm just beyond touched to know you all. My mama is lucky to have such a loving church. I'll be sure to update you all on the Lord's work during my time in Nicaragua. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart, Gracie Wilson.
Okay. Is there any others? Come on up. This is a handsome man coming up through here. I'll let you take the floor.
You make me nervous in front of this crowd back here. So. We're coming up on a special day, and I need to see Pastor Paul. And where'd he run to? Pastor Paul, come on up.
Oh, he's hiding.
Yes.
He's in disguise.
You don't have enough seniority to be on the back seat.
No nitty pie.
Yeah. You know, birthdays are a special time. We've seen you get a little older, a little grayer. Now you begin to feel how the rest of us are. It's not such a cheerful time anymore, but somebody offered me a 7-figure check if I would sing happy birthday to you this morning, but I turned them down. But on behalf of Big Springs Baptist Church, we know it's your birthday. We appreciate you. We love you. We hope you the best and happiest of all birthdays. But I won't sing, but somebody else is going to. Ladies.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Pastor Paul. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much.
I didn't dress. I didn't think I'd have to come up that Sunday, but it says one of God's greatest blessings is his gift of special people, the ones who touch our days with kindness, fill our hearts with gratitude, and bring his love to life. And then it says, you're a blessing to everyone. You, your family, and your ministry is so very special to all the people at Big Springs Baptist Church. We love and appreciate you greatly. God bless and happy birthday. And then there's a token of your love, and we appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm glad to have a birthday because there is an alternative, but I'm glad to get to celebrate with you, and I wouldn't be anywhere else on my birthday. So thank you very much, even if the years are piling on. So thank you, and God bless you.
We are so blessed to have him as our pastor here. So this morning, I have some announcements also. First, I want to thank everybody for all the messages and calls and everything during my surgery this past week. I really do appreciate that. And then also, I want to remind everybody that we do have WMU the second Monday of each month, and we'd love to have a lot of the women, that younger women and so forth, just come and join us. It's a great time of fellowship with a lot of Christian women. We have a great dinner and a great speaker and program every time. And then, of course, I can't let this go by without mentioning that Vacation Bible School is coming up. And if you would like to help with Vacation Bible School, please come and see me. It's going to be July the 12th through the 15th. We have a great program. And if you want to just help a little bit, you don't have to do anything that's really hard or taxing. You know, basically just kind of show up and help move kids around and just really have a good time and learn a lot from them. So one of the things that our programs at the WMU does is we do have a GA program here at the church that it meets on Wednesday nights. And we have a lot of wonderful young ladies here in the front pew that have been working really hard recently to earn some different badges and recognition in our program. The GA Journey is activities that allow them to gain confidence in their knowledge of the Bible and courage to tell others what they know. The badges that they had the opportunity to learn are, I am a GA, which is learning all about how to be a GA. I do missions, which this year their part of doing missions was helping with Operation Christmas Child. They also had to learn the GA Pledge, which a lot of them have done that and memorized it, which is, as a GA, I will do my best to live a mission lifestyle that honors God by learning about missions, praying for missions, giving to missions, doing missions, and participating in the work of the church. And also, they also have one badge that is called Senior Friends, where they have gone the last 2 years during Christmas time and either have participating and giving like lotion and so forth to the seniors there, or just singing and bringing joy to their lives during that time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call each girl up here and give them their badge. And so we're going to start with Addison, if you will come up here, which almost every one of the girls has earned each of these badges. Then we have Alexa, Callie. We have some girls, thank you. Izzy. We have a few girls that are sick with the flu and so forth today. Good job. Carly, which is one of our older GAs, and she is so helpful every Wednesday in helping the younger ones. Macy. Kimber. And Taylor. I think they all deserve a big hand. And if you have a child in from kindergarten through the 5th grade, please bring them on Wednesday night so they can enjoy this ministry that they have for them. Yes, sir.
Brotherhood next Sunday.
Oh, we did forget Brotherhood is next Sunday. And it's only once a month. It's the first Sunday of each month, correct? First Sunday of each month, sorry. Was there anything else? Before I turn this over to Louise, she's going to do our prayer for us this morning. Wait. Wait.
Now, if you would turn in your hymn books to number 405, we're going to stand as we sing Have Faith in God, 405.
Faith in God. put it towards the work of the church.
Amen.
Make me a servant, humble and meek. Lord, let me lift up those who are weak, and may the prayer of my heart always be. Make me a servant, make me a servant, make me a servant today. Since I started for the kingdom, since my life He controls, since I gave my heart to Jesus, the longer I serve Him, the sweeter He grows. The longer I serve Him, the sweeter He grows. The more that I love Him, more love He bestows. Each day is like heaven, my heart overflows. The longer I serve Him, the sweeter He grows. Every need He is supplying, plenteous grace He bestows. Every day my way gets brighter, the longer I serve Him, the sweeter He grows. The longer I serve Him, the sweeter He grows. The more that I love Him, more love He bestows. Each day is like heaven, my heart overflows. The longer I serve Him, the sweeter He grows. I want to love You, Lord. I want to serve You, Lord. I want to please You, Lord. This is my prayer. I want to love You, Lord. I want to serve You, Lord. I want to please You, Lord. This is my prayer. Make me a servant.
There are different kinds of gifts, but the same Spirit distributes them. There are different kinds of service, but the same Lord. There are different kinds of working, but in all of them and every one, it is the same God at work. Now, to each one, the manifestation of the Spirit is given for the common good. 1 Corinthians 12, 4-7. Good morning, and welcome again to Big Springs Baptist Church for our Women's Day. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. We've really had a great time learning some of the GAs, and then you got to see some of the ACT teens as they did the morning, the offertory prayer and took up the offertory today. As you can tell, today we're celebrating the gifts from the women of faith and how we use them in our daily lives and in church. Even as sometimes it's really hard with work and life in general, but it's such a blessing when you do. I heard Steve Harvey talk recently about how you have to jump. When God created you, he gave you a gift. Might not be running, jumping, singing, dancing. It could be networking. It could be baking pies, which we have a lot of women here in church that can make really good pies. It could be cutting grass, etc. You have to identify your gift. In Romans 8:28, it says, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose." So you have to take that gift that is packed on your back and jump and pull the cord. The parachute will not open all the way. Sorry, I wish I could say it does, but you're going to hit some rocks. Your skin's going to get a little cut. You're going to bleed, but eventually it's going to open. It is the promise by God. You can stay on a cliff, but you will never live life to the fullest. My gift is working with people and organizing. It is an honor to use my gifts here with the VBS and the WMU. Yes, it's hard to make time for it. Yes, I don't always want to do something after work on the weekends, but I jumped into the programs here. And God uses my experience to help others and to be a witness for him. God says we are to teach others, but being involved, I have learned from them. The children here are always a blessing, just like we saw with the GAs this morning. It is such a blessing to watch them be so enthusiastic and work so hard to earn those badges, and in the process learn so much about God and what he does for everyone. And then WMU, the women in that program are so amazing. They do so much that we don't even know about. I learn something from them every time we meet. My only hope is that someday I can be as good an example to someone else as they have been for me. Now that I have jumped and I prayed and I have more joy in my life and happiness, I encourage each of you to take a minute and think about your gift and your life. Pray and ask God where you need to be. You might need to jump and to live life that is waiting for you. I'm very blessed to be at this church and be able to use my gifts here. This morning, we have a few of the women of our church that have realized their gifts. They come from all different walks of life, all ambassadors of Christ using their gifts to help people make their lives better and live for God. The first person we're going to hear from is Debbie Martin and the ACT Teens, which I think the ACT Teens, are they going to be talking with you? Okay. She's just going to talk about the ACT Teens. I think at that age it's a little hard to get him up here to talk. And then we're going to hear about Michelle Martin, who is a single mom raising a teenager, which that in itself is very hard. But she really gives a lot of herself. I don't know what I would do without her during Vacation Bible School in the craft section. I'd like rearrange Vacation Bible School so I can make sure she's there to help. And also we have next is Carol Richardson, who is the wife of one of our ministers here, which they just started a brand new Sunday school class for our young couples. And then last but not least, we have our very own Linda Bridges, who's going to talk about all our different programs here, which she promises to try to make sure we're done by 12 o'clock. So we'll see how that works out. So now I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to those ladies, and I hope you all enjoy the program. Thank you.
I'm not going to hold us up. I'm going to be short and sweet. I love my ACT Teens. They are your future ladies of the church. And we are very busy. We average usually 4 to 9 that come in on Wednesday night, and it's Ann Harrelson and myself that work with them. We're currently reading a book. Both of us are reading 2 different books, but they're both about accepting ourselves the way God made us. They are at an age where they're impressionable by their peers and bullied sometimes, so we cover all those aspects right now in their life. We have had several outreach programs, and we have one today, by the way, but we're doing lotion. We did lotion at Christmas for the Grapevine Ministries stockings, and what we did was we bought Amish lotion. And then we ordered the little bottles, and we sized them down and wrote on the bottles and put them in the stockings for them with a little note from the Acteens. And then we're doing the Mommies and Daddies Night Out this evening, 4 to 7. And if that goes off really well and we survive it, we may do that every couple of months for parents who maybe they can't afford the cost of a babysitter very often. This is just a donation. They don't have to leave anything, or they can leave something, and if they do, we'll use it again. We are doing a Hands of Hope walk in March. You'll hear more about that as we get closer to that time. But again, these are your future ladies of the church, and we're very proud to have them. If you have the need, feel the need to help, you could take a Wednesday night. Ann and I take turns, but we'd be glad to have anybody else that feels led to lead these lovely ladies. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michelle Martin, for those of you who don't know me, and I don't think there's that many here that don't. But I just want to say a little bit about being able to be a part of everything that we have here at this church. We have so much that you can be a part of and that you can use your gifts for, so you don't have to just have one gift. But whether it's the fish fry or our harvest sale, if you are a part of a play that we put on here, or do something with our youth or with our kids ministries that we have great ministries there, work with BBS or with Operation Christmas Child, then you're going to get a blessing from it. I can promise you that. When I first came to Big Springs about 13 years ago, my first instinct was to not really get involved. I had come from a church that had broken up pretty badly, and I didn't really want to fall in love with the church again, but couldn't help it here. I was first asked to help with the harvest sale. Mr. Phil Harden asked me that 13 years ago. And if you've never been or if you've never helped, I challenge you to, because you will get a big blessing from it. And you will learn very fast that the women in this church can turn flour into gold, because those cakes, they go for so much, and I can tell you from experience that they're worth every penny. But that is definitely a big blessing for our church, and it's a wonderful experience to get to either help on that committee or to be a part of it on the day of. So not long after being a part of the harvest sale, I also got to attend my first youth mission trip. It was for Illuminations, where they did local they helped out locally in the community. We painted a house, we built a ramp for someone, and I was also dubbed Sarge on that trip, and I will still answer to that today. But just being able to be a part of that group was a big blessing to me. It helped. That youth group will never know how much they influenced my life growing up in this church. And I get to see them now, and they're all married and having kids. You know, I'm talking about you. And that's just, it's heartwarming for me to get to see that. And to know that I was a part of their life. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cry. But from there, I've been a part of Uncle Phil's Diner and Smoke on the Mountain. And those were all very fun. We had some great times, let me tell you, working on those and laughing. We laughed until we cried. And getting to be a part of those groups is so much fun. If you ever get the chance to be a part of one of our plays, even if you don't want to be in the spotlight, you don't want to be up on stage or doing any of that, please come and be a part of it in the back end. We can always use more, but you will have so much fun, I can promise you. And we get to sing and dance, but not too much dancing. Don't want to run those ladies out of the church again. Another big part that I've been blessed to be a part of is the Crafts for Vacation Bible School. And it is hard to keep up with that many children, I can tell you. But we are blessed at this church to have so many children. So I will take it every day. I will work and be so tired during Vacation Bible School, but to see all of their faces is just a huge blessing for me, and I know it is for everybody. But when one of them brings their stuffed giraffe to church to show you the next day because you made giraffes with him that day before, I mean, your heart just melts, I'm telling you. And I have a great group that helps me every year. And I hope that if you want to be involved, that you will also come and be a part of that, because we love to have as many hands in there. When you see a kid's face light up when they get a craft done, that they know that they've made themselves and they get so excited about it and they want to show everybody, it's one of the biggest blessings that you'll have in your life, I can promise you. So the last thing I want to talk about is Operation Christmas Child. As you know, I've been kind of heading that up for the past few years, and I want to thank you again for all that this church does. I couldn't do any of it without you. I think we packed 322 shoeboxes this past year, one of the biggest donations when we took it to Hopeville Baptist Church that they said they had seen. So I thank you for that, and we also thank you for everything that you donate every month, because the children themselves, the RAs and the GAs, they pack about 150 to 200 shoeboxes themselves every year with the donations that are given each month. But being a part of that, you get to see all of these children come in and pack these shoe boxes, and they're so selfless, and they get excited to put all of these things into these shoe boxes, and to see their little faces when they pick up this toy and they're like, oh, this kid's gonna love this. I cannot wait to know that this kid got this toy. That is one of the best feelings I've ever had, is to see these children be involved in that way. But I did want to mention that we're going to try to make maybe even a bigger impact in the coming years. We're looking into possibly doing our own type of shoebox ministry. I don't really want to step on any toes, and we're not going to stop Samaritan's Purse. We will still do that. But we want to try to find some missionaries or a mission team that as a church we can partner with, and that we can take a need that they might have and us fulfill it as a church, and just become closer to that, and maybe be able to be closer to the kids that are in need, and just have that connection with that ministry overseas somewhere. So I ask that you pray that God leads us to the need that we're supposed to feel as we are going through this. And as I said, we haven't fully ironed out everything, but as soon as we figure it out, we'll let you know. But God is doing very big things here at Big Springs, and you don't want to miss out, I can promise you, because it's a blessing. It's the biggest blessing I've ever got in my life to be able to be a part of this family and to do what I can here with you all. Thank you.
Let her. Got my technical assistant, Bobby Hodge. She did the slides. Okay, good. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. And that's what happened. December 2018, he directed Jim and I's paths back to Big Springs. And I'm going to talk about gifts from your gift to us, rather than the other way around. You gave us this great opportunity, and when we got here, the gift of concern. Lisa, Paul Scott, I mean, so many people, I could just hardly name them, said to us, there is a gap from our youth to our next Sunday school class. There are all these young couples that are not going to Sunday school. Would you, by any means, consent to try to start a Sunday school class? Jim and I looked at each other like, woohoo, would we ever? That is such a wonderful blessing to us. Thank you. And, okay, so then we got all the names. Everybody gave us names. Team Big Springs gave us names, all of you. Debbie Turner wrote a letter, mailed it. Jim called, the trusty flip phone. Call. Got them here Saturday night. Y'all, many of you brought chicken pie. We wanted them to come and enjoy, gave pies, cakes. I mean, we had a meal and a half. They showed up. They ate, we fellowshipped, we asked them, because, if they don't want to come to the class, there's no class, folks. So we really had to pray about this. God, if you want this class, it's in your hands. It's not in Jim and I's hands. We can't go pick them up. So we prayed, God, and sure enough, they showed up, and we had the best time. You have the best young people, young couples in this class. They are talented, smart, educated, amazing. And have the cutest kids ever. And so we started our class. Y'all gave us a classroom, David Bridges' classroom, Clyde Mooney's. You go up here, go up the steps. At the top of the steps is our classroom. Nice big old classroom, comfortable seats. Charles McCurry, you're the man. He made our thermostat perfectly 72 year-round. Then, okay, now we're starting a class. So we had to have some rules. So here's the rules, 2 rules. You can bring your baby, your toddler, your mother, your grandmother, your support team. You can bring them all. Bring them. The second rule, you're never late. I personally remember getting 3 boys ready and trying to get to Sunday school, and I was the preacher's wife. It was tough. And so if they come in the last 15 minutes, get a cup of coffee, sit down, take a deep breath, they made it, have a prayer, that is fabulous. A big gift y'all gave our class is the nursery. Whoever, for example, last week we had 20-some in our class, 15 in the nursery. So I'm telling you, if you feel the love of rocking and taking care of babies, please go down there and help them, because they really need the help, and it's such a ministry. I've seen our couples at first couldn't put them there. They've wooed them in. These nursery workers, they can bribe them and get them to loving them, and then they're like second mamas, and off they go. And then our little couples get to come up and sit down and have a little smile on their face. They stayed in the nursery. So we just appreciate the nursery people so much. And so I want to show you our class members. Bobby did this, not me. I don't know how to do it. Okay. The Camlods, Carl and Tamara, they're really good to help us. They bring the drinks every time we have a fellowship, and they help us clean up and serve. Tyler and Savannah McCurry, Jason and Stephanie, Ethan and Jamie McGinnis, Michael and Megan Turner, Garrett and Anna Hamrick, John and Whitney Cannon, Jessica and Brandon and all their 4 little girls now, Kyle and Katie, Bradley and Samantha and their 4 girls, Daniel and Brandy, Carmen and Justin, Trent and Lee Killiam, Webb and Emily Powell, Greg and Brittany and Peterson, Michael and Tabitha Walker, and Ryan and Bobby Hodge. And then Ryan Scott and Kara Bonar. And Corsett, skip that one. Okay, now, in our class, they bring their babies, so you can see pictures of them. You can click on through. All of them standing, clicking. And then we have kids that work every other weekend, so we have a fellowship once a quarter so we can all get together and be together. And we have a lot of fun. The kids, we want them to bring all their children, and we have the kids always, this time we had the kids gather up bags, and they dressed the adults in their dress-up clothes. And they made Michael Walker into a mummy, so that was fun. And then we had a little Christmas thing, too. But the last little thing I want to talk about, too, is we have a couple that's adopted our class, Joe and Wade Vaughn. And when we finish one of these activities, they're like, when's the next one? They help us set up, decorate, cook, clean up while we're having fun. They're in there washing dishes. We just appreciate them so much. And then one more thing. Out of this class are two, because believe it or not, folks, we still have a gap. From the youth to our class, we have a big gap. Savannah, Katie Smart, and Kayla Arrowwood have come forth, and they are on team 3 of the Grapevine team, and they are going, right now, they're doing like we did last year. They're getting all the names and numbers. They've got a dozen college students and a dozen early career. They'd just gotten out of college, and they're going to try to get contact with them and try to figure out how they're going to do a ministry so next year they can be up here telling you what they've done. Praise God. And it's all because of Team Big Springs. Amen.
Well, I'm Linda Bridges, and I've been in this church for, I believe, about 52 years. So in thinking about strong women of faith this morning, I wrote mine because I'm going to read out lots of names of people that some of you are going to know, some of you are not, and I'm aware of that, but these are people that were important and have been important to some of us. I just want to talk about generally about the gifts that women in this church have brought forth. As you already know, our theme today is women. On Women's Day is gifts from strong women of faith. Strong women of faith remind me of the strong women that were in this church when I first came here as a young married woman with one small child. I can think of people like, and I put these in alphabetical order because you'll see why in a minute. Okay. Miss Carrie McKnight, Miss Lizzie Crow, Miss Mary Gordon Elliott, Miss Millie Irvin, Miss Alfia Lattimore, Miss Blanche Lattimore, with Miss Essie Lattimore, think all these Lattimores, the Miss Gertrude Lattimore, Miss Mary Agnes Lattimore, and Miss Polly Lattimore. Now this church at that time could have been named the Lattimore Church, I guess. Miss Essie Lovelace, Miss Lillian Stroud, Miss Lula Stroud, Miss Eula Watts, Miss Lily Watts, and Miss Ginger Withrow, and others whose name I can't recall right now. These were the strong women of faith when we first came here. These women continued the foundation that others had laid before them for the previous 150 years. They had bake sales, they had bake sales, but they had chicken pie suppers, they made quilts, and they made crafts for the harvest sale. And those were supplied by the hands of these women, and that helped pay for this church building that you are presently in. Sorry. But where we worship today. Excuse me. All right. These people didn't have cash to hand out, but they used their God-given gifts to ultimately help pay off the church loan. This is a picture of two of these ladies that I've just mentioned. This was the note burning for this present building. You can see two of these women. It's Miss Essie Lattimore, that's Boyd Jr., Lattimore's mom, and Miss Lula Stroud, and that would be Clinton, Kyle's grandmother, Melissa's mother-in-law. These folks were all on, and Addison, wherever you are, your three great-grandmothers, I believe, okay. They were on the building committee for this church. Times were not easy during the 50s, and they put a lot of effort into paying for this. Our present generation of strong women of faith are too many for me to mention. However, I'll mention a few that have been the backbone of many of our past church projects. Vicki Blanton, Betty Bridges, Marlon Cone, Beth Lattimore, Betty Parker, and Melissa Stroud were and have been instrumental in planning and organizing events for our church, numerous events for our church. They also used their gifts they were endowed with by God to serve wherever they were needed. This picture is of Miss Lillian Stroud, Vicki Blanton, and Chris Hambrick, who were on the building committee for our fellowship hall. This picture was taken at our note burning for the fellowship hall. As you know, there's a generation of women who presently carry on the work as strong women of faith in this church. We salute each of them and pray for their continued work. Now I want to mention a few of the programs that are supported by the gifts of these women of faith. I don't have photos to show each of these groups, but I've tried to highlight some of them that you may not be as familiar with. The Wednesday night cooking team, which includes men, organized and led by Gene Sparks, prepares carry-out meals for our shut-ins and allows families and friends to gather for a meal each Wednesday night at 5:45 before our prayer meeting and Bible study begins. Sometimes our strong women of faith work in groups like the WMU. Michelle Toney is our present WMU leader. The WM leader for more than 10 years was Ann Self, and Ann did a great job. These women sponsor many of the projects that this church participates in. Polly Geddes, who Pastor Paul calls Pushy Polly, initiated many of these projects. If Polly had not been pushy, most of these projects would not have gotten off the ground. And Polly, we salute you for that. An example of some of these is the Backpack Ministry, which provides extra food. And that's the WMU, y'all. I forgot to click on my clicker there. Okay, that's part of our WMU. That was our Christmas gathering at Lisa's, okay? This is one of our backpack ministry pictures. Now, the kids don't get this much food every week. This is like at Christmas and at Thanksgiving, when they're going to be spring break, when they're going to be home for several days, then we pack a big bag for them. But Polly and WMU and our church supports the backpack ministry. It provides extra food for 50 children at Union and Kaiser Elementary schools. And we have Undy Sundays. Michelle just told you about that. This is also supplies emergency kind of underwear and clothes for the children at Kaiser and Union Elementary. Other ministries the WMU support are things like the Red Box Ministry. And that's not that. That's another of the backpack pictures. The Red Box Ministry for women in prison. Hands of Hope, a local crisis pregnancy ministry. The Shoebox Ministry and the Shoebox Ministry. A couple of years ago, WMU made dresses for girls around the world that did not ever have a new dress. The senior group, which includes our men, provides a program once a month as an outreach ministry for seniors. A cooking team arrives at church at about 9 o'clock on the second Thursday of each month and has food ready for the meal at 11:30. That's the group getting food ready. The group prepares for between 50 and 80 seniors each month. The group also sponsors, and let me show you a few more of our senior pictures. The group also sponsors the Bloodmobile that comes to our fellowship hall twice each year. The exercise group that meets in our fellowship hall also provides structured exercise for seniors who are between the ages, who are interested. See, I'm not reading my lines right. Okay. Structured exercises for seniors who are interested in maintaining their mobility. There are between 6 and 15 participants in this program 3 days a week, 3 mornings a week. We meet on Monday, Wednesday, Friday mornings from 9 to about 10:30. Anybody's invited. Here's a couple more. That's our Christmas gathering. Okay, time doesn't allow me to go into detail about all the other programs of our church that have been led by these strong women of faith. Some of them are handbells, the puppet ministry, worship service children's ministry, the 9 o'clock Sunday morning prayer group, and that was, I believe, initiated by Catherine, and she and Louise are very faithful in that prayer group. The children and youth's choir, Mission Friends, GAs, and ACT Teens. We are so blessed in this church to have so many talented people who give of their time and their talents to carry on these ministries, these outreach ministries. I've said to people sometimes about the seniors group, we have people that come to our seniors that really don't go to church anywhere, but if you ask them where they went to church, they would say to Big Springs. They come to all of our extra fish fries, all of those activities. I heard a story one time about a lady who went to India and worked with Mother Teresa there. When she got ready to come home, the lady told Mother Teresa, "I just want to stay here with you and help serve here." Mother Teresa told her to go home and to bloom where she was planted. The women in our church are indeed blooming where they were planted. And I thank God for each one of them. Let's pray. Lord, we're so thankful that you've given us the opportunity to serve you, and given us and given the people in this church the will to serve you, Lord. And we're just so thankful for them. We ask that you will continue to bless our church and bless all the neighboring churches and all the churches in the world, because we know that Christianity is spreading. It's not spreading as much in our country as it is in other countries, and we're thankful that your word is spreading, Lord. And we just ask that you'll continue to let your ministry grow here and all over the world. In thy name, amen. Pastor Jim.
Our invitation is 348, Living for Jesus. If you hear you have a decision to make, I'll stand down front. Let's stand together. Living for Jesus.
Jim, it's 282 over here. 282 over here. You're in the wrong.
Okay, all right. 282, wrong number.
on to the back and let everybody come by and say hi to you. Linda, Carol, Michelle, Carol, Debbie. No hiding. Go to the back, go to the back, go to the back. If you were on the G, where did you go? They went, oh, yeah, that's right. They can stay right where they are. But we are so grateful for the ladies. We don't let them do this very often because then you would realize you didn't need me. And that's bad. So but I am grateful for all they do, not just on Women's Sunday, but every single Sunday. I want you to recognize that right up here at the front, we have Burdella Gold, we've got Nancy, we've got Reba, and every single week we got Lisa, and every single week they bring it and give of themselves and their time and their talents and their efforts, and we need to make sure we say thank you to them as well for all that they do. But we're glad for you. Are we allowed to take the hand of the person next to us? No, we're not allowed to do that yet. I guess we'll start maybe next week. I don't know. But anyway, Men's Sunday is going to be on Father's Day, so we changed the schedule around a little bit this year. So that'll be on Father's Day, but then we're going to have to really bring it on June 21st. All right.